Hiya! So today we've got a review. Actually, we've got 4 mini reviews and they're all from Bond number 9. And I have never smelled any of these before. I've been quite excited. Okay, excited is a bit of an exaggeration. I have been curious about one of them for a while. It gets a lot of love. So that's why I might be in trouble today. So let's start, shall we? I sprayed these yesterday. I received them in a swap. So there's 4. They come wrapped like sweeties. They come wrapped in this crinkly shiny paper, all wrapped up very, very nicely. And then you have the sample like every other sample. And let's look at this one. Bond number 9, New York. I have not looked up the notes and I just wanted to smell them and see what I thought. So let's start. So I actually sprayed this end yesterday and I've just refreshed this end. So I've got both the dry down and the initial spray. So here we go on the yesterday's dry down. So this is the one that reminds me of Aventus. Straight away I can smell pineapple, musk, woods. It smells extremely Aventus-like. I would assume it was a clone, if not Aventus. And the same goes for that when you first spray it, much brighter, much more pineapple in that initial spray. And there might be a slightly different aspect to it. Could even be a touch of lime or something in there that I don't recognise as Aventus, but all in all, to me that's an Aventus clone. And for the price of a Bond number 9, you may as well get Aventus or one of the many clones, in my humble opinion. So that's a bit of from me. So let's move on to the next one. This one's called New York Amber. I'll show you the samples, but you know, they all look the same. New York Amber. So this is the dry down. This one is quite pleasant. I could wear this one. Probably a bit sweet, almost leans a touch gourmand, but then it is an amber fragrance. It does remind me of something, I'm not quite sure. It might be, it maybe smells a bit similar to Herod by Parfum de Marly and Tabac Rouge from, I think it's Pierre Guillaume, can't remember. But it has that kind of, it definitely smells red, if that makes any sense. It smells like a tobacco, amber, sweet, woodsy, maybe even slightly leathery fragrance, but not in a very challenging way. It's very wearable. I don't really like a strong leather, or I don't wear oud. This one I could wear. I like it, but not enough compared to all the other things that I'm always smelling. It's just okay. Probably, if anything, it could lean a tiny touch towards the feminine end, but really overall it is unisex, amber, slightly sweet fragrance. Nothing groundbreaking, but fairly pleasant. So that one is New York Amber. Next one. This one's called Shay Bond. So there's the dry down there, there's your sample there. This one reminds me of Silver Mountain Water. If you gave this to me to smell and I didn't know what it was, I would bet my bottom dollar it's Silver Mountain Water or a clone of. It probably smells slightly more pleasant than Silver Mountain Water, but I'm not quite sure how I can articulate that. There's a kind of nice thing in there. I really don't know how to describe it. It definitely smells like Silver Mountain Water, but to my taste, just that little bit better. Unfortunately, I'm not a fan of Silver Mountain Water. I think maybe the citruses feel more natural in here than Silver Mountain Water has this blast of synthetic smelling oxygen, and I'm not keen, but this This is Silver Mountain Water, much more palatable, like it's less synthetic smelling, if that makes any sense. So it's okay. I think it's probably a better option in my opinion than Silver Mountain Water, but again, not one that I'm going to be grabbing a bottle of anytime soon. So we're on to the last one then. This one is called Bleecker Street. So this is the one that I've heard lots about. It gets a ton of love from the community. And yeah, I was really curious to try it. So this is yesterday's dry down. And I'm just getting kind of like a musky, woodsy, slightly sea salt kind of sea air smell. Very pleasant. It smells like a Creed fragrance. It's almost like you took the ambergris of, you know, that ambergris kind of dry down that you get in every single, or almost every single Creed. That kind of slightly woody sea salt smell. It's like you just took that and that's what it is now. But that of course is yesterday's spray. This at this end is today's spray. And that's much more going on. I'm just going to spray a bit more on this side now because there's more space. And it will give you, or give me, a little bit more to work with. I don't know if I've got a little bit of anosmia. It feels quite subtle. I'm going to just have a breath of fresh air. 1 minute. Okay, so I've just had a few lungfuls of air outside just to clear my nasal passages. I'm also compromising matters by wearing a little bit of ivory root here, so I'm getting the scent of that and I think it's interfering a little bit. So let's get back to it. Yeah, that's much more noticeable now. It kind of reminds me of a more refined Invictus. Very much a sea air, maybe even a little bit of sea water, sea weed even. But it does smell quite natural. A lot of those kind of fragrances, marine fragrances, tend to smell to me very synthetic, and I don't know if that's just an association of thinking that to achieve that effect they must be using synthetics, or if it's something else. But normally I can be a little bit averse to a marine fragrance, but this has a very natural smell and it's not too excessive in the marine aspect of it. It's very subtle. It's kind of nice actually. I thought yesterday that it was a bit crap. I thought, oh, it smells a bit like Invictus, and I was a bit disappointed, or you know, I just thought it was a bit of a cop-out. Actually, Invictus is like a smack you in the face marine fragrance. And this is a more subtle and more sophisticated variant. So for that reason, I'm not going to give it a thumbs down, because actually it smells quite good. If I smelt this on a man on a night out, I would think he smelled pretty good. It's very subtle and it's not too overbearing. It's not too in your face. It's not that complex. Just a little bit of sea air, woods, sea salt. There might be other things in there, but that's what I'm really getting from that. So Bleecker Street is all right, I think. But again, not one that I would buy for myself. It definitely leans masculine, but if I smelt it on a guy out and about, or even at work, I think it would be completely work appropriate, because it's just not too much. It's not too far. So Bleecker Street, yeah, it's all right actually. That's just a few very brief thoughts on a few Bond number 9s. Let me know if you like any of the Bond number 9 series. I like Fire Island. That's the only one that I've smelled so far that I really like. I have a decant, but I still don't quite feel the need to go out and buy a bottle. But that's really it. Oh, New Harlem. I did have a decant of that. I blind bought a decant of New Harlem ages ago and was horrified. I really didn't like it. I was expecting a gourmand fragrance with like sweet elements. I was thinking about syrup and pancakes, but I got a lot of herbal notes from, I think the Immortelle in there just turns a bit too herbal and savoury, certainly on my skin. And yeah, New Harlem was an epic fail. It really didn't do what I expected it to at all. So we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching.